Welcome back to The Creative Bird. I hope you're at home. I'm at home, self-isolating, been self-isolating, and also one of the... What are you laughing at? Also been one of the lucky ones to also be able to work from home, because I know there's a lot of people out there dealing with being laid off and, struggling to get EI. And I think everybody's situation is totally different right now. I think we all have that common thread of trying to stay sane at home. I think that's a common thread. On the other mic right now, I have my girlfriend who actually is still currently working.
I'm just bringing all those germs back home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To you.
Oh, yeah.
So your self-isolation gets canceled out. Just kidding. Just kidding.
But there's definitely some truth there.
A little bit of truth.
But yeah, so I think my situation differs a little bit in the fact that, like, there is a little part of me, probably a big part of me actually, that actually is trying to stay creative during all this and stay sane in our tiny little Toronto apartment. And for some of you, I know that's also the case. You know, you're just trying to take your mind off of it. This is a super serious situation, and I understand that. And part of coping with that is, like learning something new and just trying to focus your attention to whatever you do. If it's painting, making music, video, photo, and then dealing with that in the confines of your own home during this whole quarantine thing. And then the uncertainty of having kind of no end date in sight. On the other aspect of it, I wanted to get you to sit down because you're still working and dealing with this crazy mess, and kind of get your thoughts through it, because we are definitely not living a normal life right now. We are definitely worrying a lot more about the little things, and the little things being eating, getting groceries,
toilet paper,
paying rent, getting toilet paper, those types of things. And just like kind of what it's been like dealing with this mess while being on, I'm going to call it the front lines of dealing with people.
I wouldn't call it the front lines per se, because there are people out there on like the front lines that are
the actual
risking it every single day to...
Shout out to like hospital workers.
Nurses, doctors, paramedics, firefighters, everybody in
Cops?
That. Cops?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Even though we got a $100 parking ticket the other day.
Shout out to you. That's not the cops, that's...
Parking authority.
Enforcement.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's like a roller coaster every single day with dealing with it while still being out working. I think it's a struggle being exposed to it every day and then coming home and bringing that home to you while you're self-isolating doing your part. I think that's a struggle.
Definitely.
And I think this is something that's ever changing and evolving, and it changes daily how we...
Yeah, legit changes daily.
Our protocols at work change every single day. And it's trial and error. We're trying new things and learning new things, trying to keep everybody safe while still being able to work as a vet clinic. There was a lot of people calling it to see if their dogs could get COVID-19. We have a lot of those phone calls from what I've heard, and they can't get COVID-19. Before it was announced that we weren't closing, it was fucking insane because everyone's panic buying food. We had our food order supply cut off because we were ordering like 4 times the amount of what we normally order on a basis, and they can't keep up with that demand. It's not that stock was low, they just couldn't supply it. They couldn't ship it out fast enough. So that was insane. And then, these things don't stop. Your dog doesn't stop needing veterinary care because there's a pandemic out there.
As somebody that's working through this, what is getting you through?
I think having a good support system at home really helps. And that might sound like biased because I'm sitting here with you. So maybe you think that I'm obligated to say you, and I'm not. That and wine, lots of wine.
The thing right now is whatever you need to do to get by and to comply with these new rules and to live this new normal, I think whatever you want to do goes.
it's realizing that everybody handles this differently and there's no right or wrong for it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you need to get by and get through your day, this is all so new to all of us.
Anything on the lines that have been keeping you positive as of late?
Working out.
Workout, so
Yeah,
that's positive.
the one that I've been doing that I've found is great. It's from Misfit Studios. They're in Toronto. I'd never heard of them until this, and I've been doing their Instagram Live. And obviously, I can't go to their classes, but they're fucking great. It's
Cool.
Maybe men wouldn't like it. Maybe some would, but it's run by all women. It's great. So that for sure.
I don't want this to be a negative episode, and for that aspect of it, I kind of wanted to put this episode out to, provide you some ways that you could tune out proficiently. Have you been through all this?
I mean, it's funny because when from November to February, I was like going full tilt with work. And then once the beginning of March started, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the next couple of weeks off. I'm going to like just kind of like self-reflect, do some like back end stuff. And then like we can start getting things back going in the middle of March back into April and stuff that I had booked. So the first 2 weeks of me being off was fine. And then this whole thing came about. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I haven't worked in a while, so it's feeling kind of weird. But this new Trudeau thing that came out with like the $2,000 a month has really put my mind at ease, because a lot of my work is like event coverage. For the most part, it's just I'm still trying to keep in contact with like all my clients, make sure like just see how they're doing, and just still trying to run my business in a sense, but just.
Yeah, that's all you can really do is just kind of keep in touch, because things are changing so rapidly right now too. For me, just like trying to keep myself entertained, I guess, from being inside, like going through old footage, trying to learn new things in After Effects and stuff. That's kind of been like my like creative flex, aside from like literally snacking all day.
Yeah, for real. It's a good time just to sit back, reflect, and like learn the different things. And yeah, I guess like my one piece of advice would be during this time, try and focus on like the back end of what you do. Like for me, for example, I own my own video production company. A lot of things that I specialize in is event video coverage, which is something I can't do right now for what's going on. So, I just fully redid my website. I made a new demo reel. I've edited a couple of client video testimonials that I haven't gone around to doing to put that up on my website. Because this did happen in March, it gave me a lot of time to work on my taxes that typically are due in April. But now with this with this virus going on, it got pushed back to August, which is super nice financially wise. But at least I do have that ease of mind knowing that I do have all that kind of back end stuff covered. Yeah, like website. I've even been making ads for myself to post online when the time is right. So I'm working on a backlog of like Instagram story ads, Instagram feed ads, Facebook ads.
Nice.
Really trying to figure out LinkedIn as well, because LinkedIn is a great B2B platform, which is a lot of what my work is. So trying to figure that out, trying to figure out how content works on LinkedIn. Yeah, so it's a good time to have all the stuff that was pushed to the back to just like try and hammer it out now, so you can feel good about where you stand once hopefully all this kind of subsides and we can get back into what we usually do on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm. Top snack right now?
My top snack right now is definitely tortilla chips and hummus.
Top show or movie right now that you're quarantining to?
Wow. So one of my all-time favorite shows is called Mad Men. I just finished that again for like the fourth time, which is still cool because I feel like every time you watch a show, you'll always learn something. But right now, I'm exactly at that stage. The world's my oyster. Like, I have no idea what I want to watch next. So,
what are you most excited to get back to?
Oh, that's a good question. My answer is pretty simple. It's just one of the things that I'm excited to get back to once hopefully all this subsides is, doing my craft, going out and actually like shooting events, shooting these like branding pieces, doing what I do on a day-to-day basis, interacting with people, collaborating with people, and just trying to be creative and work on my craft through the challenges of someone else's guidelines. So yeah, it's nice to have this time off just to try and stay creative of things that you want to do instead of the work that you would have to do.
Yeah.
I think it will have some good benefits for like even all of Canada and like all of Canadians, maybe even all of the world, of having this time just to slow down and have everybody reflect, and hopefully it can help with people's even stress levels.
If we can kind of learn to like enjoy those little things and value time more, if that's what comes out of this, cool. I'm down for that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, dude, keep self-isolating.
This was fun. Hopefully you can Frankenstein my words and make me sound good.
100%. That was Ryan Owen. His media website is truspective.com. And yeah, figure out what you are kind of pushing to the back burner. There's tons of stuff that you could be doing right now, creative or not, to make sure your back end is okay. Whether it's getting ready for tax time or revamping your website, portfolio, resume, there's tons of stuff. It's not necessarily fun, but all of that stuff needs to be done at some point. And what a better time to do it when you are kind of forced to. So yeah, besides all that back end stuff, maybe focus on something new that you can do with this time, something new that you can learn, or maybe there's something that you've been meaning to get to or meaning to try but haven't had the time. And this is the perfect time to slow down and kind of buckle in and maybe learn something new as well. Favorite quarantine snack?
Ooh. My favorite quarantine snack right now is a banana, but scooping out a spoonful of peanut butter for each bite. So smear it on banana, take a bite.
TV show? Or
TV show.
Or movie? Like, what's getting you through this quarantine?
Lately, I've been watching The Good Place. That's the one with what's her name? Kristen Bell.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's very easy and mind-numbing to watch. So that's definitely helped pass time. And plus, there's 3 seasons, and each episode's only like 25 minutes. So I've just been binging that an excessive and sad amount.
What's something that you can do now that you weren't previously able to do because of time?
Honestly, the main thing that stood out to me is that this is forcing me to slow my life down and rest. That seems like a very simple concept, but I was working every single day, all throughout the day, to the point where I didn't even realize I wasn't resting at all. So now, the unfortunate circumstances, I've lost 2 of my jobs. But with not working, all I'm doing is catching up on sleep and letting my body catch up to the level that I push it to every single day. So that's been a blessing for sure. But besides that, I've been staying pretty creative. I've been shooting videos, at-home workout videos for my gym that I work at. And I've been thinking of some short film ideas, doing some writing, and I've picked up my guitar a lot more than I have in the past year, so that's always good. I've been finding quite a lot of comfort and solace in just re-establishing a morning routine, something that haven't had and it's been stripped of from me for the past couple of months, so that's nice.
Having a routine for these days, these like self-isolation quarantine days, is kind of important, because if you don't have a routine right now, you definitely can get a little crazy and beaten down by it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I think that the most important thing that I've been preaching to all of my friends and family is that just because you are spending most of your day inside, it doesn't mean you just stop living your life. You still need to stay on top of, eating. Simple things as drinking water, stretching. A lot of people are now glued to their desk at home and they're not even stretching. They're just sitting there for 8 hours straight. I've made a point to work out every single day at home, even if it's only for 25 minutes, or stretch for 5 minutes of my day when I need to take a break from sitting at my desk. I think that more now than ever, the only thing that I have is my family, my friends, and my community. And I feel like it's my job while I'm not working to keep everyone healthy and make them feel and hold themselves accountable to stay healthy, because our immunity needs to be at the top shape more now than ever.
What do you think has been like your saving grace during all this?
Being quarantined with my girlfriend, being able to bounce back and forth ideas, even planning in the future, even though we don't know when that future may be, at least having something to look forward to has been such a saving grace. Yeah, the silver lining in this all is that it's slowing down time for me, but it's also slowing down time for us together, where we actually do get to chill together. We actually get to watch the show that we enjoy watching.
Mm-hmm. That's all that really matters. And like, we're happy, we're healthy. I mean, trying the best. So
trying our best.
Yeah, we're trying our best, and that's all that matters. Can't ask for anything more. All right, dude.
Peace, man.
That was Nolan Begley. His website is nolanbegley.com. And I think, that's kind of a really important note in this time, just because we're all working from home and I don't know, our schedules are kind of all out of sorts here. It's important to have a routine. Even if you're kind of making it up day by day, week by week, have a routine for you and your partner, you and your dog or pet or just yourself. And right now, more than ever, it's important to schedule stuff, small things. It doesn't have to be big things, whether it's you looking forward to making a certain meal or looking forward to FaceTiming with somebody. Just have those things premeditated, and I think it'll make an impact on your overall mental health. Favorite quarantine snack right now?
Favorite quarantine snack? Trail mix.
Trail mix? Favorite
homemade trail mix.
Quarantine show that's time making time pass.
Dexter.
What's like one thing you're looking forward to after all this stuff blows over?
After this all blows over, I'm hoping that people realize that spending time with people is important, and
True.
They do it.
It's hard to not talk about it in like a negative light, but I know that since you guys are so far away, that it's a little bit easier to not like focus less on the news and more about like keeping your own life going, I think, because that's kind of what's important. So I just wanted to kind of ask you maybe if you had any like routine things that are helping throughout this time and helping you keep level-headed.
Well, the first and foremost, I think the very first thing that in order to stay maintained is to be able to think. Daily routine to keep me positive. I go for a walk in the mornings and looking forward to tomorrow, looking forward to things to do today. These are the things that drive you to not focus on the negatives, because there is, take a deep breath. Tomorrow the sun's going to come up again and life goes on. And this is temporary. This isn't going to last forever.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that you like forget that you can actually go outside, because it feels a little weird. It feels like there's something in the air, but yeah, you can definitely still go outside.
Enjoy, breathe.
Just got to take the right precautions. Is there anything that you like try to think about daily when you're taking your own time?
Well, I'm not letting this moment in time define me. That's for sure. I don't let this particular situation affect who I am. I'm going to pay attention to what it's doing and making sure that, you know, we follow rules that will help it end quicker, but I'm not going to let it define me.
Mm.
I'm going to make sure that I still have goals. I still have dreams. I still have ambition to do other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest thing that I think needs to be taken away from this is we all asked for, if I only had a little more time, if I only had just some time. Well, we have the time. So what are people doing? What are you doing with it? Are you making the best use of what you have? Are you spending with the people that you can spend it with? Are you socially interacting via technology with the people that matter?
Mm-hmm.
Because now you have the time and they have the time. You know, how many times did you phone somebody and go, we ought to do lunch sometime, and that never happens.
Yeah.
Or you know, how about just pick up do FaceTime with someone you randomly never would do that with, and have that 2-3 hour conversation that that felt so good to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Do the things that you've been waiting to do.
I want to get your outlook on this too. On some level, we're being forced into being taught how to live on less financially, and been given the opportunity to like live with more, and people can be like, oh shit, I can actually live with less and have more time, and I actually like it better. It's kind of the perspective I'm taking on for it.
I think back in 2008, we had the great big blackout. And I often think back to
I think it
those
was even
days
before that
maybe
blackout.
It probably was. I just remember that as for the group that we're connected with at that time, people often refer back to that. You remember that time? It was so cool that we spent time together. Or in hindsight, when this passes, I think people are going to go, you remember we struggled through that time, and it was really difficult, but we really enjoyed time together. We really enjoyed that little bit of slowing down and, taking a breath of life versus the to-do list. So I think if we walk away going, hey, you know what? This was good for our soul. Mm-hmm. As difficult as this time is going to be, I think we can look back at some point and have that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best hope, realistically. Yeah, I mean, that really does sum it up. That was my dad. And yeah, I couldn't have kind of said that better. I hope this, in the end, in retrospect, is good for our souls. I hope we all learn to slow down. I hope we all learn to focus on the good stuff, focus on the growth of each other, of ourselves. We focus on not dwelling on the bad stuff. We focus on looking forward. I hope that we make reaching out to our friends and family more of a priority. It's all about perspective right now. For myself, I struggle with it, but I know you can turn everything around right now with just a simple mindset shift. I had this thing as a kid that my mom put on my wall, because I did have a bad attitude for a large portion of my childhood, but it said something along the lines of your attitude dictates your situation and your outcome, something along those lines. And right now more than ever, your attitude does dictate your mindset and your outcome and what you can get out of this. So if you have a more upbeat, positive outlook on things right now, I'm sure that you can accomplish more, or at least just be mentally okay. And I think that's where we all need to get to, is just to be okay. You don't need to accomplish more right now. I'm not trying to push that on anybody. It's just, personally, that's my way of coping, is if I can just fully dive into something else. So yeah, stay healthy, focus on the positive, reach out to people, and focus on what you're thankful for. All right, see you in the next episode.